Hello everybody, and thank you so much for tuning into this video. It's Wednesday, April the 23rd, and it's 12 p.m. noon, and this is the very first video that the library is bringing you digitally. So what I'd like to do with you today is give you a tutorial of how to use the Libby app, which is the library's app to provide you ebooks and audiobooks for free with your library card. Before I do that though, I just wanted to tell you, I was talking to the library staff on Friday and I asked them, what would you like me to tell our patrons in this video if I get an opportunity to give them a message? And the number one thing that came up was just they wanted you to know, we all want you to know how much we miss you, how much we miss being in the library, and how we're so looking forward to seeing you again and welcoming you back into the library when it is safe to do that. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. You'll also notice today behind me, I have a nice little background picture. I'm at the falls today. It's a summer day, so even though the weather may not be so nice outside some of these days, it's great here. It's great here right now. So we'll get into the Libby app tutorial. I'm going to actually show you my screen so that you're able to follow along with me. One thing I wanted to get out of the way was that I've already had some questions about people who don't have a library card. If you live in St. Mary's, you're still eligible to get a library card for free. All you have to do is fill out our online library card sign up. So I will put a link to that form on this video, and it's also shared on our website. So if you're looking for that, you can sign up through that online form, and then what happens is we take that information, we'll give you a library card, we'll get you a barcode and a PIN number, and then we'll email that to you so that you can access all of those great resources that we have available for you through the library. The other side of that is people who maybe don't remember their barcode number anymore, can't remember their PIN number. That's totally okay. Send us an email to libraryinfo@stmaryspubliclibrary.ca, and we will get that information to you. We'll get you your barcode, we'll get you your PIN number so that you're able to access all of those great online resources that are available to you. Okay, so let me share my screen with you here. And I'll move myself down here so you can still see me, but you can get a good picture of that iPad screen to follow along. So our first step to download the Libby app is to go to our app store. So that's the three little blue sticks there. And we should be looking at the home page. We'll go to apps. And we may have to do a search. So I'm going to click on the search button at the bottom here. And I've already typed it in before, obviously, so you can see that. So what we're looking for is Libby for Overdrive. So let me move my screen down a little bit just so you can see that. So, like I said, we're looking for Libby for Overdrive. And I'm going to click download from the cloud here. So since I've already had this app before, it'll say download from the cloud. But if you've never downloaded Libby before, what it'll say is it'll say get. So if you see that down there, that's what it'll look like. And it will install for you. So now that I've got Libby installed on my iPad, I'm going to go back to my home screen. And there I see it is there, brand new, just kind of a little woman there, and she's reading a blue book. So I'm going to click on that icon. Oops, open. There we go. And because we're brand new to this app, it's going to pop up. It's going to ask us a couple questions. The first one of those questions is, do you have a library card? Now, I have my demo card right here with me, so I'm ready to go. So I'm going to say, yes, I do have my library card. Or perhaps you just have your barcode and your PIN number, and that's okay too. So now, she's going to ask us what library it is that we belong to. So we belong to the St. Mary's Public Library, so I'm actually going to say I'll search for a library. Sometimes her map is not so great when she tries to auto-detect where we are. So I'm going to type in St. Mary's. And we see some other ones across the States, even one in Australia, but the one we're looking for is all the way at the bottom. It's called Download Library, Perth County Information Network, St. Mary's Public Library. So we're going to click on that. And there we are. So now she wants to add our library card. So I would like to add a library. We'll tap that. And we'll show near my branches. So this is how she narrows down where we are actually located within Perth County Information Network. So if you look at this map here, we can see Stratford. And if we scroll over a little bit, there we are, St. Mary's. Just click on that purple dot. Okay, and we'll select that. Sorry guys, I've gone off the app. So there we go. So now we've done that. We found our library. We're going to add our library card. So in the top right corner, there's a little head there. She's got a little 1. So we'll just go ahead and tap on there. And in that menu, we will select add a library card. So she's asking us to choose a location. So we'll click on there. And what it's going to do is it's going to populate all of the branches that are a part of this download library in PCIN. So one really cool thing for our patrons here in St. Mary's is that we actually share a collection of ebooks and audiobooks with all of the libraries on this list. So what that means is that we have a lot more availability than we might otherwise have, because all of that kind of buying power of the region of Waterloo and Cambridge and Kitchener and all of those PCIN libraries are all together. So we have a huge collection for you. But we'll select St. Mary's Public Library, and like I said, it's all the same. And then what she's going to ask us to do is enter our card number. So that is all of the digits on the back of your library card with no spaces in between. So it should start with a 2. And don't worry everybody, this is the demo card, so there's no security issues here. So now I've got my barcode entered in there. And I'll click next. And the next thing that she is going to ask me for is my PIN number. So if you've had a library card for quite a long time in St. Mary's, your PIN number will be the last 4 digits of the telephone number that we have on file for you at the library. Now, it's possible that you have changed that or you've chosen a different PIN number. When you do sign up for an online card using that form, you can choose a PIN number, so just make sure that you don't forget that, otherwise you won't be able to get in. And of course, if you have an error or if you find that something's not working, you're always welcome to send us an email to that library info and we can try to help you out and get you in there, make sure everything's current and working well. One other thing I should mention is that every once in a while we do have our cards expire. So the reason that we do that in the library is to make sure that we have your most current information and to also keep track of our active borrowers, so the number of people who are actively using their card. So if you find that you get an error message that your library card is expired, again, just send us that email and we'll be happy to get you back in there. Okay, so I've added my library card. She sees it and it's all good. Everything's gone through. I'm going to click next. And what you see there is that you can have 20 loans and you can have 15 holds. So at any given time, you can have 20 things checked out from this online library platform. Okay, so what we see now is the library page. And I'm just going to move my screen up a little bit because I want you to be able to see the bottom of that with me. Let's see if I can fix this. Make that a little smaller so that you can see the whole thing. There we go, that's perfect. Okay, so what we're looking at now is the library side of the Libby app. So this is where you can do all of your browsing, you can check out what's available, you can search an author, you can search a title, you can look at what's new in audiobooks, what's popular in ebooks, all kinds of different things. Now at the bottom, you'll see 2 sides. On the left side, we have the library page, and on the right side, you can see that there's a shelf there. So our shelf, tap on that there, is going to show us all of our loans and all of our holds. So when you are looking to open this app up to read a book, you'll be going to your shelf to select one of those loans to open up and read. Okay, so right now we don't have anything. We're a brand new patron, we're a brand new user of this app. We have no loans, holds, or anything like that. So let's tap back to the library and we'll have a look and we can check out a book together so that we can see how to do that. So I'm going to adjust, let's say, my preferences. So up in here, you can choose to narrow down your search by all of these factors. So format, let's say I prefer audiobooks because, you know, when I'm in the kitchen or when I'm mowing the lawn and my hands are occupied, it's great to have that audiobook to keep your mind entertained. So today, I'm going to look for an audiobook. And my language is going to be English. There is other languages there if you're interested in that. And the audience, well, there's different things here. So this might be a good opportunity if you are setting up your child with their Libby account. You can filter their content so that they're only seeing juvenile books or young adult books, and they're not seeing maybe some mature content that they shouldn't be seeing. I'm going to say general content because I'm just looking for, you know, just a regular adult fiction title. Now, for availability will show you items that are available for you to check out right now. So the reason that this exists is because with an ebook and an audiobook, and this is the kind of number one question that we get when people start to use this service, is that how come I have to sometimes place holds on these items? Well, actually, when the library buys an ebook or an audiobook, we buy a license for 1 year. So sometimes we'll have 5 licenses of the same item, and that's great because then there is, in essence, there's 5 copies of that book. But sometimes you will have to place holds if there's something really popular that you're looking for. Okay, today though, I want something that I can listen to this afternoon when I'm gonna go out there and mow the lawn if it ever warms up enough to do that. So I'm gonna click available now. So now Libby is only gonna show me titles that I can check out right now, right this instant. And I'm gonna apply my preferences. And so here we go. So now I'm being shown all these different titles that are specifically what I've asked for. They're available right now. I can check them out right this moment to start listening to them right away. So when we have a look down here, again, these are some popular search terms, the new books, what's new, what's popular, what's available. These are just some popular, easy, fast click items that you can touch when you're looking for something quick to see. Okay, so here we've got some different titles here. I'm going to click on this Karen Kingsbury book. So when I look at this book, if you haven't narrowed down your format to audiobook or ebook, you'll actually see everything. So what this cover is telling me, this picture, it's got the little audio and the 2 little earbuds there. That tells me that it's an audiobook. And if it was an ebook, it would just be a regular. So there's 2 different options. We can play a sample if we want to get a sense for maybe the narration of the ebook, kind of the content, like you would if you walked into the library and you read the first few pages of a book to get a sense of whether or not you wanted to read that. So today I'm going to click borrow because I think, yeah, I would like to read this. Now there's one little thing to notice on this page. At the top it says you are borrowing Angels Walking for 14 days. If I tap on that, I can actually change it to 21 days. So that would be that 3-week loan period that we're used to at the St. Mary's Public Library. So that's just a little tip to tap that so that you can keep it for that extra week. And now I'm going to click borrow. Okay, so here we are. We've got our audiobook now. It's giving me the option to open my audiobook, to keep browsing, or to go to my shelf. I think that I'm going to keep browsing, see if there's something else that I might like to look at. So I'm going to go back to this page. I'm going to have a look around. Maybe I'll click popular audiobooks or something like that. There's nothing here that I particularly want to read, so actually I am just going to go to my shelf and open that book. So at the bottom, again, I'm going to click shelf there on the bottom right side. So what we see here in our loans now is we see that we have 1 item checked out, and that is that Angels Walking. So there's a couple options on this page. The first one is to open the audiobook. So this is, of course, if you're going to be reading this, you want to go outside, maybe you don't have connection to Wi-Fi, this should automatically download to the device that you've got this app on, so that you can listen to it on the go. You can listen to it in the car, you can listen to it when you're outside, when you're going for a walk, what have you. It's going to be there available for you, and it's not going to be using your Wi-Fi. So that's one of the really great features about this app. The other option that I have is the manage loan option. So this option here, if I am done with this book, I don't need it anymore, I've completed it, or you know what, it just wasn't really for me, I can actually return it early. And what that's going to do is, just like I talked about those licenses and how we might have to place holds, if there's somebody waiting for this title, they'll be able to get it sooner. You don't have to worry about fines though. If you don't remember to return something, or you just leave it there in your loan shelf, that's totally okay. After those 21 days, it's actually just going to expire on its own. It's going to return itself, no consequences, no fines. It's great. But I've decided, you know, maybe I don't really need this one, so I'm going to click manage loan, and I'm going to return it early. And then I'm just going to click return. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to my shelf. Now, I'm going to go and see if I can find one that's actually, I'm going to place a hold on, just so we can show you how that process works. So when you sign up with Libby, and when you sign up with your library for a library card, and you provide us an email, you will get a notification or a pop-up notification from the app on your phone or tablet to tell you that your hold is available when the last person is finished reading it. So let's see what's popular. I'm going to change my preferences again because I have that audiobook selected. I'm going to change it back to books, and I'm going to look for everything. I'm going to look for general content in the English language. So here we go. We've got some titles here. You can see lots of popular titles. I'm going to go down. I'm going to have a look at popular books. I'm going to see what everyone else is reading right now. Okay, so as you can see, there's lots of titles here. And lots of new books that you'd be used to seeing perhaps on the new bookshelf in the library. And we'll have a look through. So all of these say place a hold. So what that tells me is that this book is currently checked out to another patron. And I can put my name on it, and might have to wait a little bit for it. The other thing that's here is this little calendar. So if we click on this little calendar, it's actually going to give you a really good idea of how long you're going to have to wait for this book. So there's 23 copies of this item. So that's quite a lot to have in an ebook. So there's 23 copies of The Tattooist of Auschwitz, and there's 129 people waiting. So that basically means I'm going to be waiting for this book for about 12 weeks. So I'm going to keep adding those available now titles to my shelf so that I'm not just waiting around. So there's 6 people waiting per copy. So that's not so bad. I'm going to place a hold on that title. I'm going to click place a hold, and then it pops up my library card, and it shows me again that calendar. It's a handy little tool to check and see, you know, if you really can't wait that long, that's okay. Then at least you know. So we're going to place a hold on here. All right, so I can still read a sample of this book, just like you can listen to a sample with an audiobook, you can read a sample of a book. And I'm going to go to my shelf here because I want to show you the holds. So now in my loans, we see that Angels Walking. And if I click on holds there at the top, you'll see that Tattooist of Auschwitz and 12 weeks. So in 3 weeks, I could come back and look again, and it might say 10 weeks or 8 weeks or 9 weeks, because people could be returning it early, reading it really fast, that kind of thing. So this is where you can keep tabs, you can check and see where you are in line for that book and about when it's going to come to you. Okay. Let's go back to the home page. The other option that we can do is we can search for a book. So if you have a particular title in mind that you've been looking for, you can search for it. And quite often people, one big question that we get is, how do I search for a book on my iPad on the Libby app? It's actually at the top. It's kind of hidden. It's up here. It's in the top left corner. It's that hourglass. So we're just going to tap on search for a book. And we can look for an author. Let's look for James Patterson today. Because whenever you're on the spot, James Patterson seems to be the name that comes up. So let's have a look at James Patterson as an author. I can see all of his items. Lots of people reading James Patterson right now. I can place my holds. I could look for the next book in the series that I'm reading, and that kind of thing. Or, you know, I could read a sample. And when I do that, I'm gonna place my hold here. Oh, there's 8 copies. So I will actually get this book in the next few days. So it's not all bad, everybody. So sometimes when you see a hold, you actually could get it relatively soon. Okay, so I'm gonna place a hold there again. And I'm gonna go back to my shelf. And now when I go into my holds, I should be able to see that I have those 2 books available for me. Now, the other thing that I can do is I can click back on my little icon in the top right here, that little head. I can have a look at some of my settings. There's not much to do in here. You can manage your notifications. And if you are a member of another library, you actually can add multiple library cards at a time. So say you have an Oxford County library card, you can add that one in here as well so that you would have access to all of the titles that they have available as well. But right now I'm going to manage my notifications. Okay, so, how do I do this? So Libby would like to send me notifications. So you can allow this or not allow this. It's going to be things like if you place a hold, Libby might send you a notification to say that your hold is available for you and it's now ready to check out. So I like to leave it on, but sometimes they can be, I would never say that Libby is annoying notifications. They don't send you multiple things a day. It's really just for those functional items like your hold is available, your book is coming due, did you want to renew this title? So I'm going to say don't allow right now. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my shelf. So you can see my recent returns there is a Karen Kingsbury. The other thing I want to tell you about is when you have a book on loan, in a couple days right before it's due, so it will tell you this book is due on April whatever. In the couple days just before it's due, if nobody's waiting for it, just like in the actual physical library, you do have the option to renew that title. So watch for that, and that's a good reason to keep those notifications turned on, because it may actually send you a notification to say, did you want to renew this book before it expires? Okay. So I hope that gave you a good idea of all of the things that are available to you for free with your library card, and just how awesome Libby really is, and all the things that you can explore. I think we only even just touched the surface of what's available there for you today. If I scroll down already, you can see that there's cookbooks, there's Spring into Health and Fitness. At the bottom you can see all the different genres that you could look through. Self-help, all kinds of things on here, humor, history, non-fiction, fiction, anything that you can imagine, it's on here. So I hope that you do go and have a look. And again, if you have any questions, if you need a reminder of your barcode or your PIN number, reach out to us. We would love to help you with that. We'll get that information to you so that you can get on here and access all of those things, okay? And just another reminder to leave us feedback, leave us ideas. If there's any videos that you would like to see from the library, if there's any programming that you think would be great if we could provide it for you, we're happy to do that. We want to do that for you. We want to make sure that we get you the best service available. So leave us those comments, send us those messages. And again, if you need any help at all, getting on Libby, finding your barcode, signing up for a library card, anything, send us an email and we will definitely get back to you with that information. Okay? Look for future videos. We will be back this week with another video for you on Friday, and we're going to be showing you how to use the Canopy service that we have available. So that's that video streaming service. Really excited about that. So keep an eye out for that. And like I said, send us those videos or send us those comments so that we can create those videos and give you that programming that you're looking for. Have a great day, and we'll see you later in the week.